Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. Happy Transfer Tuesday. Glad to have you all here today. So, we're starting out here with what our transfers are. So, we had some rollover with this paycheck. We had $92 of cash rollover. We had $53 of digital rollover. The difference in that is the cash rollover comes from specifically from, it's not down here, my wallet that I pull cash out for and then put back in. Digital rollover is something like an expense or a bill that comes right out of my checking account. Or if I've put cash back in and rounded up, it's not cash that I have on hand, but when I budget each paycheck, I budget from $0 and I add everything and then I budget all of that money. So if there's money left in that, essentially that paycheck budget, that is the digital rollover. So that's the difference in case you had a question about that. So I had $53 in digital rollover. School lunches, maybe, like there was one bill that there was a significant amount that it was less than. So that's why. Anyway, so digital rollover was $53. That was from our kind of the end of our March 21st paycheck. And then last Friday, April 4th, was a pay week. We get paid bi-weekly on the same Fridays. And so the amount of that paycheck that was able to go toward our financial goals was $308.65, which means in total today with our transfers and our money for transfers, we are working with $453.65. So I'm going to switch spreadsheets right now. All right, so here is our goals tracking spreadsheet. This is from Debt Free Jessie, highly recommend. So let's jump in. The first goal that we're working toward is a 3-month emergency fund. You can see we have month 1 funded. We are currently working on month 2. So coming into this week, we had $252.73. $75 from our paycheck budget went toward that as we complete the Save 2025 and 2025 challenge. And so there's a certain amount not each paycheck, but I pick off the tracker, I pick however many boxes and we put that right into the high yield savings account. So that's $75 for the week, for the pay period, I guess. So that brings us up to $327.73, which means that month 2 is 11% funded. And then the 3 months in total is 37% funded. And we can't color in any of our trackers yet. All right, so then let's move down to travel because debt is kind of the main focus. So let's come down here and get this part done. So I added a line here. Previously, we were just working on activities, and that was kind of the end of what we were saving for mine and my daughter's spring break trip. So of that, we came into this week with $155.61 saved for that particular goal, and we put $100 toward that with this paycheck, meaning that brought us up to $255.61 and leaves us with $44.39 remaining and 85% funded for that line item. Now, we came down to hotel. So that is the new category here that was not here previously. So the deal with that is our flight when we're leaving leaves at like 5:30 in the morning. We live about an hour and a half from the airport, and then there's just the amount of time that you're supposed to be there early from the airport. And I hadn't thought about it when I booked the flights, because I would just sleep for a couple hours and get up at 1 a.m. and drive to the airport, and I wouldn't think twice about that if I were traveling with my 6-year-old. Her first flight, her first kind of time doing this, I thought that's probably not the smartest thing. Getting her up at 3 to get to the airport is going to be enough. So anyway, I paid for one night to stay near the airport a night before at the hotel, or a hotel to stay at near the airport for one night before we leave. And so that was $114. My $53 in digital rollover and 61 of my cash rollover dollars went to that to cover. 53. Oh, 53. Sorry. Okay. I was like, no, that's not right. All right. 53 for my digital rollover and 61 of my cash rollover dollars went toward that. So that to cover that one night. So the hotel category is now covered. And the only thing we have left is another $44.39 for our activities. And then that will be funded. We do actually leave, or we are traveling over the weekend of our next paycheck. So it might not officially get done until afterwards, but it will be fully funded before we go. It just might not get transferred there until we get back. Or maybe I'll do it that day on the plane or something like that. Who knows? All right, so now we're going to come up and look at debt. Our balance transfer card, I did something a little bit different, and so I'm covering the whole amount that we need for the minimum payment for the month with the balance transfer card with our second paycheck, so that's not going to get anything. This paycheck, we are focusing solely on our HELOC. And here's what we did with that. So 31 of our, so I put 60, we had $92 in cash rollover. I put 61 of that towards travel. So the other $31 in cash rollover goes to the debt. And then we also have from our paycheck, $133.65 we were able to put right towards debt. So that takes us from $7,039.99 to $69,37.34. The problem is, not the problem, but we do need to come in here and add something because it's in the process of moving this HELOC loan to another balance transfer card to get rid of interest. And so there is a fee, and the fee to transfer that is $347.62. So when I add that amount in, we actually added, is that right? For some reason, I was thinking it wasn't going to be that much, but I could totally be wrong. No, that's right. Okay. So that means that even after we put our $133 and our $31 on it, after adding that interest in, we have actually gained $244.97 in interest or fees or what have you on this loan. So that brings us to still owing $7,284.96, which means we have paid $19,255.02. This portion split up as 73% paid. This portion is 15% paid. This all started as one loan, so the individual amounts don't matter to me so much. It's this total amount that when we came in here, our whole HELOC was at that $33,839 or whatever it was. So in total, 60% funded. So as much as I'm like, ugh, like this week doesn't look super great, or this, with this paycheck going forward, we are going to be able to put money on that interest free and really see what kind of a dent we can make on that. So that is what our transfers are for this week. I appreciate all of you being here, and I would love to hear about what transfers you've made toward what goals you are working on. So thanks, guys, for watching. Until next time, bye.